think it's time for a new installment in which I describe the many ways that I feel people disrespect me when I am a worker. So, the first thing that immediately comes to mind is when I greet you and you don't. I can be at my register, I'll look at you, I'll acknowledge your existence and go, hello, how are you? Hey, how's it going? And all you have to say to me is, I want my chicken bagged separately. Fuck you, bitch. And on that same note, I can say when you get to the register and you immediately start spitting out orders, you don't even greet. And if you greet, you might go like, hey, how are you? Yeah, so I want this and this and that and the other and blah, blah, blah. Do you care to hear my answer to how I'm doing, how I'm feeling? Where's your humanity? Something I have had the habit of doing is asking people if they have their own bags because it really sucks when you're ahead with the order and all of a sudden they go like, I'm sorry, I had my own bags. I want to use my bags. Can you undo it? I'm sorry, whatever. At least they say sorry, but not always. But what's sad about that is, did you hear what I said? I said, I ask if you have bags. But for some reason, motherfuckers either say no because you're just replying to me, but you really didn't hear what I said. Maybe you thought I was asking for a donation or something, and your default answer is to say no. But I did my part, which was ask you if you have bags, but you say no. I comply with that response, which is okay. They say no. I got a bag. I gotta get started. I get started, and all of a sudden, you say that you have bags. That's terrible. This one falls under the category of you telling me how to do my job, which I have been trained to do. But sometimes people be packing things together. Let's say that you have a banana and an apple. Let's say for some reason those two items are the same price, which they aren't, but to give an example, you have them in the same bag. I remove them from the bag or slide them over to where one item at the time sits on my scale. For some reason, you say they're both the same price, and I ignore you. And the reason I ignore you is because you don't seem to understand that I have to use the respective code for this product. The codes exist for each item for a reason, which is it's the way that we track and monitor inventory. If I were to ring up every single piece of produce ever that's by the same price, calling it a banana, produce is gonna think that they're not selling apples. And you know what your bitch ass is gonna do as soon as we discontinue the apples because they're not selling? Why don't you have apples? I have to make sure that that information is accurate on the computer because otherwise produce is gonna think that apples are not selling and instead are being stolen. Why would they want to carry that? So stop thinking like this is your personal bank account, like these are your finances. Something being the same price to you may not matter, but for a business, they have to have good bookkeeping about this stuff because those finances will reflect on the sales floor. Whatever you may see more of, is because it's selling. Whatever you don't see so much of is not selling. So let me do my job. I don't care how you present the item to me. It can be grapes that have been pulled from the vine and you have both green and red in the same bag. I am going to take the time to sort them out because I actually take pride in doing a good job, and to me it's not a burden to do the work. Now, if you're concerned about the extra couple of seconds it's taking me to do that, how about if you don't do that? Use your common sense and be like, maybe although I'm trying to be a green person and help mitigate trash, maybe I really shouldn't put everything together, especially if it needs to be weighed. So yeah, I don't know where you all be shopping at, where you, I guess, can get away with things being the same price, but at least every place I go to, you gotta make sure that you ring things up accurately. This one's the worst. I'm standing right behind my counter, like right at my register. My light is on. There is no next lane sign. I'm preparing myself by, I don't know, wiping down my belt or signing into the computer, doing whatever I have to do. Donning my gloves, mask. This one's one that really sets me ablaze. I'm behind my counter with my light still off and my go to the next lane sign up. I'm simply preparing myself, donning my gloves, mask. I'm not even logged into my computer yet. Yet you ask if I'm about to open. And I say yes. But I still haven't officially opened, hence me leaving my sign and my light off. You decide to come over. And you unload your things, but let's say that I still have not officially opened up. You start getting impatient, making noises, or having this really dry look on your face, looking around and pretty much non-verbally trying to rush me. And I remain calm. And you seem annoyed. When, remember, the light being off and the sign being up equals I am not announcing my preparedness. And these are the tools that announce that I am not prepared to assist anybody right this second. If you decided to ask that question, me saying yes to your, are you about to open? Me being about to open can mean anything. It can mean within 30 seconds, within a minute, within 5 minutes. You made the decision of coming over to a register that was shut down, not immediately open for business. You took your chances. It didn't work out for you. And the best thing about this is that self-checkout was available this entire time. Now, you guys know that I have a degree of antisocial tendencies, And I just overall hate unnecessary noise. But one of the things that I absolutely abhor about customer service is when somebody tells me the story of their return. And for some reason, it has to be a really long and emotional story, but you're not actually telling me what's wrong with the product. Like, for example, it can be something like, I bought these apples and they were bad. Like, for example, this is the proper way to go to customer service for a refund. Just be like, hello, I am here because I would like to get my money back because this product did not work for me. It was damaged, it was moldy, it spoiled on me before the expiry date, anything like that. But instead, you come over and you go, so today, so I need my money back for this. So I want to return this because I picked these up for my mother because she is moving to a different house at the end of this month, and she is renting a truck and everything. Other people are going to help her, but this new house she's going to is gonna be more accessible for her, blah blah blah. Just, you guys have no idea the stories that I hear. Ultimately, for you to tell me, so can I get an exchange? You said you wanted your money back, but now you're saying that you want an exchange because instead of a lavender cleaner, you would rather have oranges instead. How about if you just come up to the desk and save yourself and myself 5 minutes of your preamble and just go, hello, I was wondering if I could exchange this. It has or has not been opened. We decided on a different scent. Boom! I do my thing, I push my buttons and send you on your way. But for some reason, people are so hungry for attention that I don't want to give, and I'm not in the position to give. And even if it were my personal time, you guys know me, I don't care. I don't talk about useless stuff. You cannot be coming up to places treating me like I'm your best friend and expecting for me to have a reaction to what you're saying when I am not a part of what you're saying, the story you're sharing. So stop telling me your personal story about the return and instead tell me what the issue with the product was, if you want to. Because if not, I can use these two organs right here, examine your product and be like, oh, it looks damaged. And if on the surface I can't tell what's wrong with it, evidently you changed your mind. I don't care. And then finally, this one ties up with the whole it's the same price thing that I mentioned earlier, but people really love to tell you how to do your job. Stop telling me how to do my job. You're talking to a veteran, and in addition, if there are some specifications that you have, give me those instructions before I am done. So how about if before we start the order, you specify that you may need certain items separate and you do the job of separating the items as you load them onto the belt. But sometimes you try to sort through the items after I'm done, and you'll be undoing the work that I performed. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to hand you your receipt and I'm going to start helping, and I'm going to start helping the next person because I'm done with you. So you can be there scrambling, fumbling through your bags, doing whatever you have to do, but I can work with very limited space, just so you know. And I'm not going to hold up the person behind you because you couldn't communicate things effectively. But even more so, There are items that may have a barcode, but they don't necessarily work if you scan the barcode. So if I'm taking a second examining your product and looking things up on my computer, stay the fuck quiet. You don't know what I'm doing. You will get charged for the item you're showing me, trust me. But there are some things that are simply not in the system using the barcode. Some things we genuinely have to code a little differently. We have to punch in a little differently. Just show me what you have, and if I start doing something on the computer, stay quiet. And if I need your help, if I need a clarification with something, I will ask you. But stop telling me to scan something. Do you think I don't see the barcode? Do you think I wouldn't have tried to scan it if it if I knew it worked? But because I know it doesn't work, that's why I'm doing my stuff on the computer. Again, just be quiet, trust me, let me do my job. If your input is required, it'll be requested. But until then, the quieter you are, the better. So that's it, you guys. Thanks so much for tuning in. I'm trying to get my mind prepared for what's going to be possibly the worst holiday season. So don't be surprised if you see me a little bitchier than usual, sharing some stories here.